That's some Twitch news this week.
No, it's nothing of the usual Twitch news that we've been covering and people have been used to hearing. They haven't, so far so good on the Black History Month, though. I guess they haven't fucked that up like they did last year so far. I haven't heard anyone complain that they've, done anything horrific. So that's good.
It's February 4th, right? So
we got
lots of time. We got lots of time.
There's time.
What we don't want this year is a whole bunch of white people celebrating Black History Month. All right, which and not just Black History Month, but Black Lives Matter movement on top of that. And yeah, hey.
Well, no, you want white people doing that. You just
listen.
You don't want Twitch to put them in a trailer instead of black people.
Okay, there you go.
That's the
listen. Yeah, some asshole will take my words and fucking twist it. You know what I fucking mean, all right?
Yes.
We don't want to just see all white folks. All right, it's Black History Month. All right, spotlight some black streamers on front page. Do what you need to do. Just don't be tone deaf this year like you were last year. Other than that,
great.
There we go.
Good job.
No complaints yet.
Maybe, and then the only other thing I think of is don't try and make cutesy emotes, because every time you try and do these specific emotes for these months and everything, it always goes wrong and it ends up being low key racist. So just put a trailer out. Exclusively black people. It's Black History Month. Done. That's all you have to do. Just don't overcomplicate it. But anyway, this has nothing to do with that. FishStix. If you've been around for a long time at Twitch, or have at least heard of the name FishStix before, is one of the OG Twitch employees. You would have been a founding employee of the company. And one of the nicest guys a lot of, in fairness, most of the low-level, and by that I mean not C-level guys that worked at OG Twitch were all, and girls, were all fantastic people. FishStix is one of those people. He decided to speak up about something that he's noticed that Twitch has been making some changes here that he wasn't particularly pleased with, that he hopes that they reverse. And I'm sure many of our viewers have actually seen this happen for them on their end, and so I decided to bring this up here to talk about it a bit. So he said, well, I'll just read it here. He has a Twitter thread, but he said he didn't want to bring this up, but he decided that he would do that. He said Twitch has made some recent changes to their embedded player that hurts streamers, viewers, and communities. So their embed player is basically, if you're not on Twitch, but you're embedding the video player and chat somewhere else, a website or whatever, for whatever purpose. You see all sorts of websites embedding YouTube players and whatnot to host the videos somewhere else, show them on a different page. Same kind of idea. Said about 2 months ago, Twitch began implementing what has been dubbed the purple screen of death. The PSOD. Microsoft's never going to live down the fucking red ring of death. That shit's going to get memed into the ground for the rest of time. So, or blue screen of death. This is purple screen. So the PSOD is a mandatory, non-skippable 30-second interruption that is placed in all embeds, making for a poor user experience. So he posts a picture. So if you're watching an embed, so let's say you were watching more recently the Games Done Quick, and you're on their website watching Games Done Quick because they had the chat up, they had the virtual thing. That fucking tech that they built. Did you see any of that this year?
Yeah.
That shit was fucking wild. So they had
every year they go nuts. Yeah,
they've got some crazy developers working over there at Games Done Quick. So they had all this, and it was relying on obviously embed features that Twitch has. So that would have been one of those instances. So this pops up if you're watching it, and it's the whole video screen. It's just purple. It's like CD Projekt Red yellow, except it's purple. And then you've got your message here that says, with Twitch's logo, hello. If you're seeing this and you're not already on twitch.tv, click here to get the best Twitch experience. If you're seeing this and you're already on twitch.tv, please review your third-party tools. Most likely, there is an ad blocker or script running on your browser making it look like you are watching from another site. As we update our service, these third-party tools can affect Twitch's performance. Thanks for watching. So that stays up on your video for 30 seconds, and then it dumps back in to whatever you're watching. And you would think that's the point, that's a mild annoyance. Not the end of the world. 30 seconds comes and goes. Okay. So he continues, many of you have seen this screen months ago as an anti-ad block message. However, it has evolved far beyond anti-ad block measures. The PSOD impacts all Twitch embeds everywhere, regardless of where you are viewing them from, and regardless if you are using ad block or not. So it's no longer just being used for ad block, anti-ad block measures. The Twitch PSOD would be disruptive if it only showed for 30 seconds, but it pops up every 15 minutes. And it can override, obviously major moments on a stream. If it's popping up every 15 minutes for 30 seconds and it takes up the whole video, yeah, there's a good chance that it's going to get in the way of some important moments. This completely ruins the experience and makes embeds a vastly inferior way to engage with streams. As of a few days ago, Twitch has made embeds even worse with yet another barrier, a disruptive message telling users to get the full experience on Twitch. At least you can close this message, but it's another annoyance that negatively impacts user experience. So on top of having that first 30 seconds and then every 15 minutes, Twitch also has this pop-up, and you can see this if you search FishStix.
Yeah, I see it.
I was just talking to the chat. If you want to see these or like if you're listening and you want to see these, you can see them if you haven't already seen them as a viewer. Where it has like the thing now, get the full experience right in the middle of the screen, fucking like call to action on the video. Where am I? I'm losing myself here. Oh, here we go. So between the Twitch PSOD and this, it's clear that Twitch is doing what they can to hamstring their own embed product, but streamers, viewers, and Twitch do benefit from the embed. Views count towards the metrics for streamers. Embeds allow users to subscribe and follow a channel directly. Developers are creating new experiences around the Twitch player and facilitating discovery for new communities. I would go so far to say that Twitch would not be what it is today without embeds. It was and this is kind of true because this would relate to Jeff and I directly. We would remember this. He says it was Team Liquid's StarCraft 2 streams that were embeds on their website back in 2010 that produced the initial momentum that led to Twitch's launch in the first place, which is 100% accurate. When Twitch was first starting, Team Liquid's webpage is fucking bigger than Twitch as a website, and they would take the embeds onto Team Liquid's. Every tournament, every like pro match, whatever they were running on Team Liquid, all went through that shit and was a large part of what was running up, first of all, Twitch in general, but also the esports scene that would blow Twitch out of the water in the early goings. Also, he mentions developers are obviously not happy with this because there's a lot of developers developing around this kind of content. For example, what we just mentioned there with the games done quick with the virtual experience they had, that was all built around the embed as well. And he says that obviously his greatest hope is that we can convince Twitch that the embed player is worth supporting and to roll back what they've been doing with it, and then he asks for other developers to help him spread the word, which this got around quite a bit, thousands of interactions. So, yeah, I tried to think about like what would be the reasons why Twitch would be so aggressively getting people to the site, since ads play on the embeds anyway, so it's not necessarily a measure for revenue generation, for example, or something like that. But I mean, other sites are doing the same thing. If you try and go to Reddit on your mobile phone, and you're not logged in on the Reddit app, I mean, you literally get blown up. You can't even. It's almost unusable. Like you have to you're clicking through 17 different fucking things that are like, are you sure you want to use the web browser, or would you like to use our app? Are you sure you want to use the web browser, or are you sure you want to use the app? And you can't even see full comment threads. Unless you're going through it anymore. They're basically like hard locking you into their app, which, by the way, their app is fucking terrible. That's why nobody wants to use it. So, Twitch isn't the only person doing this. I don't know enough to say what exactly is the reasoning behind it, but it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. Just from the experience, I mean, there's not much else to talk about. I just wanted to put it out there.
I mean, I'm kind of on the. Sure. I mean, there are specific things where it kind of sucks. But do I blame Twitch? No, I don't blame Twitch. I'm not like, this isn't Twitch news that I'm like, oh, shame on them.
No,
here's another thing that they did. Oh my God. Like I can think of many reasons why they're doing this. Number one is, for one, you're getting a lot of illegal streaming being embedded onto websites. And people are using Twitch live streaming to embed on websites, whether that's for watching pay-per-views, watching movies, watching whatever. That happens. And they probably want to be able to control where content is being watched.
Yeah.
Obviously. Now you can make the argument, well, I mean, it's still being streamed on Twitch, but a lot of those people are watching it from other websites, and other websites are using the clout from Twitch to drive advertisement dollars to their sites. I mean, we're talking, say if there's an esport thing, which I think primarily is the most affected thing here, is esport events.
Just big events in general, like communities.
Yeah, so say, for example, there's an esport event for League of Legends, LCS, and Riot, and this is a theoretical, but Riot is saying, hey, guys, come and watch this LCS championship on riot.tv. And there's an embedded stream of Twitch, but you've got all of Riot's advertisements, Riot's way that they want you to experience the way that you're watching content. Not only that, they want to block out your ability to watch other content, and they want you focused on their content, which makes sense. It's what they're broadcasting. But at the same time, Twitch really isn't in the business of, doing it strictly for the benefit of the streamer. We know this. They're in it for the benefit of Twitch, and they want viewer retention. They want people that, hey, if there's a break, say LCS goes on a 15-minute break in between matches, they want the ability for people on their website to discover other talent, other channels, and then go over there and stay on the site longer. I mean, it's really not rocket science. And I kind of like this move from a business standpoint because Twitch has more control over the people that are watching it on their site. Now, they aren't physically taking things down, but I can see them in the future being worse than this. Instead of this every 15 minutes or half hour, whatever it is, maybe it just is the purple screen of death indefinitely until you go on the website and watch the channel from there. I mean,
and that's what I mean. Or not that's what I mean, but I agree with that point, is that if they were going to go this route and it was specifically with the case of the user staying, like all you mentioned is 100% accurate. You want people to stay on your site as long as possible. You don't want people to be on somebody else's site as long as possible. And reducing your revenue down to whatever ads you show through the embedded player. You want, interaction on your site, which drives other revenue opportunities. Yeah. That's 100% accurate. So why I was confused is that, and also the other things you mentioned, for example, trying to find ways of cracking down on illegal streaming activity, is also great, which is why at the end of the day, for me, I'm just wondering, why wouldn't they just fucking close down embeds entirely?
Well, I think that's where we're going. I just don't think they're
is this their half step?
Yeah, I mean, instead of just going full blown, you're fucked. They're starting the process. They're just making it not fun experience to watch, and so you just go on on Twitch's website and watch it. I mean, it's one link away. Not only that, there's a lot of websites that have a lot of traffic, and people are artificially embedding their streams on sites that have traffic, which is artificially bumping their numbers on the streams as well. So if you're on a website or landing page and there's a fair amount of traffic and you embed a stream on there, you're going to get artificial click-through rate and watch rate, even though they really have no intention to watch your stream at all, which I think is also gaming the system. Not only that, there could be bots. This might be also where bots are generating large amounts of views. Instead of going on Twitch directly, they're going on these off websites and then embedding themselves in to artificially boost numbers. There's a reason for this. It makes sense. I don't think really anybody should be getting upset over this. FishStix. Yeah, he's a guy that's been around. He's a founding father of Twitch. Yeah, he's good dude. I'm sure his intentions are in the right place here, but I also think it's starting to become fun to really put Twitch under a microscope and bitch about everything they do. And I think that this is one of those things to even go as far to try and make an argument here to further his point of, well, Twitch was built on embedded. Well, no shit. That was 10 years ago. It's 2021. What is Team Liquid in 2021? I mean, Twitch is a gigantic juggernaut. And this isn't the streaming business of 2010, 2011. This is 2021 where there are hundreds of millions of people that are watching this shit on a yearly basis. This is more than just, hey, we can get 300 embedded views on Team Liquid during your StarCraft stream in 2011. Now we're talking people are getting hundreds of thousands of views concurrent on Twitch. This is a multi-bagillion-dollar business. This isn't, Emmett calling up and saying, hey, how would you like to be part of this Twitch initiative where we're going to embed games? I mean, we're far beyond that. That's such a ludicrous thing to throw in there to try and strengthen an argument that this is bad for the viewership. I mean, is it really bad for viewership? Really? Let's keep it 100. Your experience for anything you're watching on Twitch is better on Twitch. There's nothing in that post that is incorrect. You're say, for example, the website you're on has garbage hosting and you're getting lag and it's choppy. And then you immediately think, well, maybe it's Twitch that's fucking up. Bad on them. If you're on the website and you're having these problems, if you're on Twitch, then you blame Twitch. But you're taking Twitch's service and you're morphing it to your own site for your own personal gain, and Twitch is getting nothing from it. So I think all signs point to, remove the embedded. And that's a decision that they're making. I can't argue it if they left it. I mean, who's going to complain? Nobody. But if they didn't leave it, I think everybody that has a business mind and can really think that there are legitimate reasons why they're doing it. And I'm sure that there's probably other technical reasons why they don't want that I'm not even privy of. But I'm just spitting off the top of my head as why I think this could be a problem.
Yeah, the reason why I said I couldn't think of anything is just because they're not just shutting the whole thing down entirely. And the only reason that they would not just shut it down entirely is because they're trying to be diplomatic about shutting down the service.
Yeah,
because
backlash, right? Because it's cool to hate Twitch. No matter what
at that point for Twitch, I'm in Twitch's position, let's say that just in a hypothetical that was the main driver for the decision to be doing this is the stuff that you're talking about, which is more than likely the case where you're trying to, ultimately websites now want you to log in so that they have your email, your name, all that shit. They can sell it to advertisers. Everyone knows this. That's what they want. That's what Twitch wants you on their website to do it. So, that's obvious. So for me at this point with Twitch, especially since Twitch also knows that they are cool to be hated on as of late, is just fuck it. Rip the Band-Aid off. Nuke it from orbit. Just walk in and just fucking nuke it. And then what? Because what's the worst that's going to happen? If people aren't really going to care, what is the absolute worst that happens if Twitch comes out and says, "Hey guys, we're getting rid of embeds." And call it a fucking day. Because
I get it, but I mean, why would you if it's gonna create a stink that you really don't need to? Slowly implement it and then get rid of it eventually. And then they can go, hey, over the last 3 to 6 months, we've noticed that the vast majority of people stop using embedded, so we've just decided to close down the embedded completely. And anybody with a brain can see that's what's coming.
We've made embedded nearly impossible to want to watch for a lot of people, and so we've noticed that because we did that everyone stopped using embeds, and so now that they've stopped using embeds, we're going to shut it down.
Pretty much. I mean, it's the corporate way. I mean, that's just it.
That's like HR or whatever, fire somebody, but before they do, it's like we can't technically fire you for the reasons we want to fire you legally, so we're going to just make your life a living hell here until you quit. It's like
pretty much
that's the idea. Either way, I mean, obviously for pretty much 99.9% of streamers, from a streaming perspective, this doesn't mean anything really. There's a small handful that this would ever really affect, and this is more of something that, you know, for major esport type deals or big community things that have relied on this stuff for various reasons, whether for their own advertising purposes or just for the sake of whatever they're trying to spin into their event. And that's going to be between Twitch and them, because the average streamer and the average viewer is unlikely. Beyond seeing it as an anti-ad block message, which is another thing entirely.